This video will go over how location data is transferred from FUDSChem to FUDSChem, the database of record behind the USACE firewall. For more information on FUDSChem, please refer to our Introduction to FUDSChem video, linked in the description. Data can be transferred to FUDSChem after the Data Usability Assessment, DUA, is performed at the end of a sampling event. We go over this process in detail in our Validation and Data Usability Assessment DUA tutorials playlist, linked in the description. Before chemistry data is transferred to FUDSChem, location data must be transferred. Once the assessment is complete, the person working on it will come to the Assessment Checklist tab and click Screen Event. This screens for potential issues that need to be resolved before the data can be migrated to FUDSChem. This screening process will flag an error if the locations have not been migrated yet. Let's take a look at that error by clicking View Errors Report. The DUA SP VVL sample location error lists the locations that are not yet present in FUDSChem. In order to migrate these locations and resolve this error, we will first need to make sure there are no placeholders. To see if placeholders are present, go to Reports, Location Migration Report. Fill out the drop-downs and click View Report. This report lists all the locations that are associated with chemistry data for the selected event. The report includes the location definition information, followed by well completion information and well screen intervals. Values are defined in the footer. The report highlights placeholders for key fields identified by the EMCX. These fields need to be as accurate as possible. They include location type, establishing date, north coordinate, east coordinate, coordinate method, surface elevation, elevation method, total borehole depth, and borehole diameter. Note that borehole depth and diameter only highlight for well, borehole, or direct push locations, and can be left blank for other location types. Note that field QC locations are expected to use placeholders and will therefore not be highlighted. Additionally, once a location has been migrated, its status automatically changes to Inserted into FUDSChem and will no longer be highlighted. Locations must be updated to have a status of Final before they can be migrated. Additionally, highlighted placeholders should be resolved as well. To do so, submit a location definition update file. We have an example file already created. For more information on creating an update file, please refer to our Updating Location Information tutorial video, linked in the description. In this file, we've included all of the new information to replace the placeholders. However, the data is old enough that we were not always able to find better data. In this case, we will need to make a note in the location description explaining that placeholders are inevitable. We don't want to overwrite the original description, so let's copy it from the report and then add to it. We'll add to the description, placeholders cannot be resolved due to age of data. That way, when the migration is moving forward, the team will understand what's going on. We'll change the loc ID status to final for all of our locations and submit our update file. To do so, go to Tools, Data Submission. Choose the correct project and any event. Make sure the data type is set to Location Definition Information Update. Click Upload File. Once it is uploaded, select the file and screen it for errors. We can see that this file does have errors. Click the number of errors to view an error report. These errors indicated that this location cannot be set to final while it still has placeholders. However, due to the age of the data, we cannot resolve the placeholders as noted in the location description. We can reach out to our Synectics point of contact to explain the situation and ask them to change the errors to warnings. Once the errors have been resolved or changed to warnings, we can certify the file. Next, email your review point of contact to ask them to review and approve it. Final location data must be reviewed by someone at the core. Once the file is approved, we can refresh the location migration report and see that our updates are reflected here. The locations are now ready to migrate to eChem. Inform your Synectics point of contact and they will export the locations and send them to the eChem point of contact to import. Note that once the import is complete, a manual sync needs to occur to tell FUDSChem that the import was successful. This sync typically occurs once a week. Once the sync is complete, rescreen the event in the DOA tool and the location migration errors will disappear. Don't forget to subscribe to the FUDSChem YouTube channel for more tutorial videos. All of the tutorials and playlists mentioned during this video are linked in the description below. Lastly, if you have questions or comments, feel free to contact us at fuds.support@synectics.net. Thank you.